Balloon Beats.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined today for a very special off-day stream by the man himself, Dan Rourke. How are we doing today, Dan?
Bro, I'm doing surprisingly well, considering how bad this weekend was. But, bro, I'm pumped to be here, man. And for the viewers out there, I'm pretty sure we have an agreement, Pat, that I'm coming on like every off day, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. That's a plan.
I like being
forward.
here. I like you guys. I love you guys.
That just got really weird really quick. But listen, before we get into any Yankee topics for today, we're probably going to go about an hour as usual. But listen, shout out to everybody currently in the chat. Let's take a 10/roll call. You guys know the deal. We got Martin, Lori, Big Brain Borg, Jacob, Jordan. I like that. Jacob Jordan, that flows well. We got a Rays fan in the chat. Shout out to Ozzy. I like Rays fans sometimes. I don't know. Dan doesn't.
I don't,
but
welcome.
We got Yankees Reversed, Amy, Jeff. Who else? KG Baseball, Ryan, Not So Family Fun Vision. Who else we got? We got Ryan, Bright, Martin. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Sorry if I missed anybody. Dan, I say we address the elephant in the room to kind of start things off.
That the Yankees suck, but they're going to get better.
The Yankees are trash. Like right now, it's kind of strange, right? Because I think the last time you were on, was that the Monday after the White Sox sweep?
I was going to say that.
I think it was.
I'm pretty sure it was. So it's crazy that like how much of a start difference it is, bro. Coming off probably the season high, you would figure the last time I was on, to the season low. Like this is a season low. Like, the sky is falling season low.
But like at that point, like after the White Sox sweep, right? Like you said, we were at the high point of the season. We were on cloud 9 essentially, and we thought that the worst was behind us for sure, bro. If I would have told you on that stream that the worst was yet to come for the Yankees, you probably would have cursed me out in 17 different languages. You know that. And now it's like we're kind of like looking at the state of the Yankees right now, and they're on such a downward spiral with kind of no hope in sight. Like I just don't understand where to go from here. And we talk about this pretty often, right? Me and you are totally like contrasting when it comes to like our ideas with the team. Personally, myself, I don't let it like affect me like emotionally anymore, just because I feel like I'm so emotionally checked out. But you're the complete opposite, right?
I mean, I'm not sure if I can say this. I was legitimately borderline suicidal this weekend. Like I was choosing which flavor of bleach I wanted to drink. Like it was bad. And bro, when we talked on the phone, I think probably, I don't know, but we were talking on the phone. I don't know if it was after Friday or not, but like you were actually like, you looked like you were kind of concerned for me, bro. You're like,
yeah, no,
it
I was.
Affects you that much? Like it was bad. And I feel like a lot of Yankee fans felt that way too, you know, and like, it's weird because like after we got swept in Detroit, like I wasn't like I thought it was just like a weird like aberration. Like just like, man, like I guess they just didn't take it seriously. You know, they'll bounce back. Cause I figured like it seemed like this season before this week that we just had, the Yankees did play to their competition. Like they would, you know, for some reason do bad against the bad teams like Detroit. And then they would step it up when they play better teams, kind of like they did with the White Sox. But that clearly wasn't the case this week. And that's why I thought things would get better after the Detroit sweep, which ended up not. Like we did exactly what we couldn't do this past week, and that was blow games against division rivals.
No, yeah, it's so odd, right? Because it's not even like when the Yankees go up against like certain teams, they seem to like play either like, well, previously they would like play up or down to their competition, right? They kind of like dominated the White Sox, but then like they struggle against a team like the Orioles, for example. You know what I mean? But now it's like, as far as like me and you go, It's just strange because usually at the end of the season, like whenever the Yankees get eliminated, we always have like that usual phone call. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
Dan, like, and I'm always like so pessimistic as far as the team goes,
Mhm.
and I'm like the one that's emotionally drained, and you're always like the positive one usually, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
And
like
I'm
this
yeah,
core
like,
has such a big window, like,
yeah, and I'm still positive about it, but like my positivity has changed. Like I went into the season, I just feel like most of us did. The Yankees are winning the AL East. They're the team to be in the American League. If we don't get to the World Series, it's an absolute failure. I'm still with it on the last part. Like the goal is still get to the World Series. If not, season's a failure. I am not so positive we're winning the AL East anymore, but I still am like I'm pretty certain we're making the playoffs. And I've been saying this for a good while now, so maybe it's wrong. I don't know. The offense cannot be this bad. Like, it's
no,
impossible for the offense to be this bad. And hey,
bro, it's
let's
crazy.
get something clear here. The yesterday's game, like our offense didn't look horrible. It didn't look terrible. So if you want to say like, recency bias, things are trending up, maybe I don't know because we got Pat. I know we talked about this before the show, so you may not totally agree with me here. That game is largely on the umpire's horrible strike 3 call. Like that was a brutal call, and the pitching, leaving in Lucas Licky, that's questionable, and Licky giving up. I think he had a what was it, Bogart's homer? Whoever it was to tie the game had an expected batting average of like .090 that tied the game yesterday. But anyways, what I'm saying is like the offense kind of did their job yesterday. The pitching wasn't amazing in the end of things, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think if we kind of like examine
I'm trying
the
to be
current state of the
optimistic.
team. No, I get it. I get it. Kind of like tomorrow, I guess yesterday was like a very promising sign moving forward. I don't know because you can kind of put the game on the umpire and not the fact that the Yankees have been atrocious as far as hitting goes. But I mean, kind of like shifting back to the whole grand scheme of things and not just yesterday. The Yankees, let me put this into perspective really quick. The Yankees are 31-29, just 2 games above 500. The date is June 7th, 2021, and they're 6.5 games out of first place. Dan, they have a record at home this season of 17-16. Usually they dominate at Yankee Stadium, but what it seems like this year is like their opponents are coming into Yankee Stadium and destroying them, bro. We thought it was going to be the opposite. Like with fans being back, they were going to be hyped, but it's not.
I feel like nobody's been afraid to play us, especially in Yankee Stadium since probably since the whatever the last series at home before Judge got hurt in 2020. Like it feels like ever since then, bro. Like because going into this year or this series against the Red Sox, like I heard something that like we won 11 straight at the stadium against Boston.
Yeah,
and then total flip of the script, we get swept by them, and then like how we performed against the Rays, or what was it, split? I think we had the Rays, but yeah, bro, like it doesn't seem like Yankee Stadium's too much of our advantage anymore. And what's not going to help that is if we have a bad product on the field, people are going to start like not showing up. Like we may not have sales this summer like we all expected to have if the Yankees keep playing this well or this way. But what I was going to say before is you brought up how it's June, the Yankees are 6.5 back. Like obviously that's negative, but you can also flip to a positive that there's literally I think 100 games left. Exactly.
No,
right?
Yeah,
or how many? Whatever it is, 39 and what are we? 31-29.
I believe
so. There's 101 games. That's like what 60.
Bro, somehow we always end up doing math. What's 31 plus 29? 60? Yeah, 60. 60.
Yeah.
31.
So, okay. So
30
we have
100. Yeah.
Whatever. We have 102 games left to turn this thing around, and 102 games left for the offense to get clicking. And there are still some positive things here, right? And let me just be Mr. Optimistic for a second. One, Aaron Judge has been consistently incredible this entire season. Yeah. Gleyber Torres, he's not hitting for power, even though he did have a homer in the Boston series, which was a big homer. He's hitting better lately. He had that game tire yesterday in the ninth. And Duhar's been hitting the ball a little bit better. Gio Urshela, I think he's been slumping lately, but you figure he's going to turn it around. And Giancarlo Stanton at some point has to get hot. So assuming he's healthy, which that's a whole other conversation we'll probably have. Assuming he's healthy, like he will at some point go on a little run like he had before getting hurt against like where he was really good against Houston for like that one series, and then like that whole 2 weeks before he got hurt, he was just an automatic home run, automatic single, whatever it was. He's hitting the cover off the ball. At some point, he'll get back to that. And as we saw, bro, like when we were really kicking well, like it was when Stanton was performing like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at some point, these things have to happen. Also, too, people don't really want to like admit it. Gary Sanchez has hit very well over the last month.
No, I know.
Well, in relative terms.
He'll never get the credit he deserves, though. Like, now, even if Gary Sanchez goes on a hot streak where he hits like 400 in the span of like a month, bro, people are still going to be like, bro, he's lazy. Like, it's as simple as that.
Bro, we're a good Gary game and a bad DJ game away from, and the boomers will cry when they hear this, Gary having a better on-base percentage than DJ LeMahieu. Now, DJ's at 335 right now. Gary's at 331. But just, bro, like, it's like the world will tilt on its axis, bro, when that day comes, bro, that we're 60 games into the season and Gary Sanchez coming off their 2020 seasons, has a better on base percentage than DJ LeMahieu. And that's another thing. I know a certain amount of Yankee fans are giving DJ the slack he deserves, but some of them just choose to ignore it. Dude, DJ is more to blame, at least as to blame, than anybody in this entire offense for how bad it's been this year. Bro, can you imagine how different things would have been if DJ was, not only he used to be like last year, imagine he was just like a 300, like 800 OPS guy. That's
like what we kind of expected.
Yeah, bro, because like last year, bro, DJ comes up in that situation that he did yesterday with the runner on third to tie the game. Like, I feel like it's almost like a guarantee that he's going to at least hit the ball hard, but he's just a ground ball machine now. You know?
I don't get it. It seems like all the Yankees are, right? Leading the league in double plays by far. But listen, shouts to Ruben Cruz with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Ruben. You're the man. He says A-Rod had some really good takes on the Yankees last night. I feel like he was wanting to rip them, but had to hold back. LOL. He was saying a lot of what we say. I think, listen,
to be honest, I don't think A-Rod
A-Rod
held back too much though. Like A-Rod was going in at the Yankees last night a little bit. Like he was basically saying like, and yeah, like, bro, what we've been
he has every reason
saying, like
to do so too.
Yeah, 100%. I was cool. I mean, like a lot of people give A-Rod crap as an announcer. He has some corny moments, but there's times like you can clearly see A-Rod's brilliance. But like A-Rod pointed out like what we've been saying, that this team is fundamentally flawed. They don't play baseball, and they're not set up to play baseball the way a normal team operates. Like, it's like going on like the lineup balance and how they can't advance runners. Like A-Rod had a lot of good points yesterday.
Bro, I love A-Rod. Like, I hate so much. Bro, man. First of all, this might be a hot take or an unpopular opinion, either one. I love when games are on Fox or ESPN. Like, it feels like such a big game, bro. Yeah, like, 100%. I saw what you tweeted the other day about, like, you were pissed off Joe Buck wasn't in the booth.
People thought
I kind of feel the same way. No, I kind of feel the same way.
That's the thing. And I'm not even saying, like, and I do think Joe Buck is actually a pretty good announcer. Like, he doesn't get enough credit, or he gets bashed a little too much. But even, like, besides that, how I feel about him as an actual announcer, just his voice, just, like, you just think with Joe Buck's voice, you think about like a playoff game, like a big game, like classic Yankees Red Sox on Fox.
That's why I was Matt Vasgersian.
Yeah, I like Matt Vasgersian.
Yeah. But I mean, remember we had that debate, Matt Vasgersian, Michael Kay. I mean, you know,
that's why I just said I like him. I actually don't love Vasgersian.
No, yeah,
he's corny sometimes too.
No, I get it, but like I think he's a cool announcer.
He's fallen off ever since joining ESPN, in my opinion. Go on.
He's doing like 3 different gigs, which is kind of crazy. I know he's doing MLB Network,
that is
the Angels, and ESPN.
Like the full-time Angels gig, or like just about full-time.
Dude's a workhorse.
Yeah,
but sure. I want to bring up this comment. Victor's taking shots at me for no reason. He says, unlike you, the guy with no hat has passion. Something the Yankees seem to not have.
The guy with no hat?
Passion for? It's not like your name's right on the screen.
I was like, that's how I'm described.
You kids were not around in 1978. For fans, your memories are clouded. Listen, I'm sorry I wasn't around for 1978. However, I think to come here and say that I don't have passion for the Yankees just because I'm kind of like numb to the pain of it all.
Let me take over here. Let me just take over here, bro. If Pat didn't have passion, I don't think he would be doing these pre-games, post-games, these all-day streams. Bro, if you think I have passion and you think like I work hard towards the Yankees, bro, this kid's on another level. Like the dedication.
I just do this for fun, bro. Like, come on, give me a break. But moving on, let's get a more positive comment. Let's see. Let's get a good one. Bro.
A good one. Anyone that's complimenting me.
Right? I'm trying to find one. Okay, you might know this because I know you're into like superhero movies. But not so family fun vision.
Don't label me as DJ. I like Spider-Man. Relax.
All right, but same thing. So what's Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Well, that's the Justice League movie he made. I mean, I'm not a big DC person, but I know there was there was the Snyder cut and shit, and I know people were kind of like not that pleased with it. Like it was disappointing, I think. I don't know. You're kind of asking the wrong guy. It. No, I didn't. I follow like the movie world. Like I watched this one show called The John Campea Show, and he's like a movie guy. But anyways,
we talked about this a long time ago, didn't we?
Probably, yeah. No, like, just the same way. Like I watched the Michael K show religiously. I watched that religiously too. DJ's average. He's been average, worse than average actually. Great. He's and heck, I brought up the on base thing when comparing DJ and Gary, and you can do a next one with weighted runs created plus. Like Gary, I think has a 103 weighted runs created plus, which by the way for a catcher, like just performing league average offense is great. He has a 103 weighted runs created plus. DJ, I'm pretty sure, is like just maybe touching 90. So overall offensive value, Gary's been better this year than DJ LeMahieu. Now, I don't think Gary's necessarily the better hitter than DJ because maybe this is me just being Mr. Optimistic again. I do see DJ can't be this bad. Like I don't know how long I'm gonna keep saying that about these players. Like
but we've been saying about the Yankees as a whole, bro.
Yeah, but it's just like I'm looking like individually, right? Like, bro, like there's a very good chance that like say Stanton doesn't get hurt, which I know is like a big, huge if. Like if he doesn't get hurt, bro, like things are so different where we're standing right now. Because, bro, like Stanton's impact, like I said before, when he's on, bro, like it's otherworldly. And like when we gotta stop honestly pinch hitting Stanton. Like if Stanton's not gonna play that day, he just shouldn't pinch hit because he's a terrible pinch hitter. But he came up in some big spots. He had opportunities to change the game, and so far he's had some terrible IL rust, can't hit the ball. So like what I'm saying is, like, if we get these guys going, Stanton being one of them, DJ being one of them, like we'll be all right. But if not, it's not even up for debate. Like if this offense doesn't hit, if they keep hitting like this, like it's not even like a shot we'll make the playoffs. We won't even contend for the playoffs. Because if the offense is going to be doing this this bad, like our best within a 10-game span is probably going 5-5. Because the only reason we really were that good during that winning time, like the 23-9 stretch, was because our pitching was so well. But how long can they keep that up, you know?
No, yeah. And I want to bring up this comment really quick just because I think this might make your day a little bit. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Dan, your hair looks fabulous.
Thank you, Lori. Bro, I appreciate that.
Dan.
Yo, let's go. Bro, I'm actually probably going to get it trimmed a little bit. Like, not trimmed, but like it's too thick right now. But for those who are fans of Logan Paul, me and Pat were talking about this before. Bro, my goal is to look like Logan Paul by the time I'm like 25. And if I get big enough and I get the right hair, which it's not there yet, but like when I get a little more rich, I can probably do it like he does. I'm going to look like Logan Paul. So thank you, Lori. That makes me feel really good. Because Pat, you know, bro, how much like I'm obsessed with my hair.
No, bro, we were just talking about hair before this. We're off topic now, but that's fine, bro.
Yeah,
I kind of want to get like a trim too, right? But I go to no.
Don't cut your hair. Your hair looks
okay,
good.
but I was like kind of like looking into it, but apparently my barber like closed down. Like I typed it in on Google, permanently closed. So
that
like
sucks.
I haven't gotten a haircut in like a year and a half. I don't know, but if Dan
tell us
says
that,
like,
bro, we see it.
no haircut, fine.
Don't. It looks good.
But listen, let's take another comment here. Actually, I kind of want to move on from the DJ thing just because I see a lot of comments about DJ. I do want to move on to this, Dan. Like we were talking about the state of the Yankees, 2 games above 500. We're in the beginning of June. Now, what's the direction moving forward? Like, what do the Yankees have to do to kind of improve this team? Because here I am thinking about it, right? And personally, I don't see one particular move that the Yankees can make that would turn this whole team around. Sure, like a Ketel Marte would be nice, but do I think he's going to change the entire season? No. If I'm being honest with you, bro, I think the one thing that the Yankees need to do is start things out, and it's more so of a shockwave rather than an actual move, and that's firing Marcus Timms. I think that's kind of like the rumble that you need in the clubhouse to kind of wake these players up, because I think what's being forgotten right now is that the current players that the Yankees have in their lineup are very capable of performing at a high level and very capable of leading this team to a division, but they're not. So I think maybe you do want to like add a guy like Ketel Marte, but I think before you do that, you fire Marcus Timms and kind of send a shockwave through the current players you have now.
Yeah, like whenever the Yankees aren't playing well, like I can be irrational, but I try to avoid saying like, oh, this person should be fired, that person should be fired. Last night, like, and I stand by it now, like I want somebody to be fired. And I'm not like opposed to being on like the fire Boone train, but I'm also not like, gung-ho leader for it. I wouldn't mind it, because really what it comes down to is like not necessarily like for Marcus Timms, for example, which I'm with you on, which he had a good quote yesterday. Did you see him yelling F you to the umpire?
I didn't.
You didn't? So that made him grow on me a little bit. But it's just a matter of like, even if Marcus Timms, say his hitting approach like isn't that flawed, just the hitters aren't doing well with it. Regardless of that, bro, like sometimes you just need a new voice in the room, and it also adds a sense of urgency too when somebody's fired, because you figure, Timms has been the hitting coach for like 2-3 years. Like the players probably like him as a person, like they probably do like him. So like once like the players in a way would feel responsible for him losing their job, like it kind of ups the stakes a little bit. Like, it also shows like the upper management saying like, this is not acceptable. So I think I'm with you, bro. Like Marcus Timms, he should be fired. And if it keeps going on after that, like let's just say, I mean, knock on wood, if we get swept by Minnesota, then like, I feel like Boone almost like has to be fired. Okay. Like,
I know
something has to happen.
And I hate saying this. I'm like in the same boat as you as far as like calling out for people's jobs, just because I hate doing that. But like I'm looking at the Yankees right now, and there's no way you could make any excuse and kind of like make the argument that Aaron Boone deserves to be the Yankees manager right now. There's just no argument you can make. And that's why what happened this offseason pissed me off so much when Cashman was kind of asked about Boone's job. He's like, yeah, we want Aaron to be our manager for the next 10 years. Like, why? Like, what over the past 3 years has proved to you he's won nothing? He hasn't even taken this team to a World Series. Yeah, that's a stupid comment.
No, but in Cashman's credit, I think he worded it in a way it's like, ideally he's our manager for the next 10 years because that means like we won a World Series this year. Like that means things have worked out. Like at this rate, like, and that's the thing about the people who are on the Boone train. It's just like even if you don't like say or even if you don't want Boone fired, like you can't like provide really an argument or like get mad at the people who do want him fired.
No,
like it's
yeah.
perfectly justifiable to want him gone, you know. And I'm not even saying he's a bad manager. Like the rest thing, I'm not sure if that's up to him. If it is, then I don't like him for that. But like it's like I said before, like you just a new voice in the room sometimes is needed, and it's kind of like obvious that Boone is like not soft, but like it's like he
He's
lacks
soft.
energy
No,
all
he's
of a
soft.
sudden, bro.
He's soft. Bro,
I guess,
he
yeah,
didn't
but
even go out there to
soft's like-
argue the Odor call, though.
Soft's more insulting than I want to like use. Like I don't want to actually because soft means like he's
I
like,
wanna
pussy,
insult
which
him.
I'm not saying okay,
He
but
is.
like yeah, no, that was whack last night. How like bro, freaking dying Phil Nevin got ejected before Boone did, and then Marcus Timms, who really didn't even say anything until he got ejected. That was a mistake, by the way. I think he meant to throw out somebody else. And then with Boone, bro, like I understand maybe because you know 2 guys already got ejected. He doesn't want to like if he gets ejected, like who's going to manage the team? But like Boone should be the first guy. Right after that ball is called strike 3, he should be sprinting out there. Now maybe it's because he has like a pacemaker and his heart's an issue. But sorry, like I understand. Don't get ejected. Then don't freaking make your veins pop. You shouldn't be the manager of the New York Yankees then. Like, you know, like
I've said this, and it's not even
Yeah.
like rude to be saying that, right? Because at that point, like if you're really concerned about like the health of your heart, and that's why you're like not kind of like firing yourself up, you should probably like take an absence and just kind of worry about your health. Because at that point, like maybe you're just not cut out to like kind of do this job.
And here's a thought that I had real quick on the manager
Yeah.
thing. So let's just say Boone gets fired, right? And it seems like, you know, like we fired Girardi, who you'd consider kind of like an old time manager, and then we got Boone. Let's just, you know, people kind of would want like that Girardi type manager back, like an old fashioned manager, maybe that would like light a fire to some the guys. What if they fire Boone and they brought in? I'm not saying they would do this. You can bring in Buck Showalter under the condition that like lineups is going to be like a front office thing, and I don't think Buck would agree to that because he is an old time manager.
Yeah.
But like say because you know. Showalter would probably like say bat Judge 4th. You do like you know like the classic lineup stuff, which that's where I am. I do lean analytical for when it comes to, like the lineup. Like how the front office can control the lineups, but Buck Showalter's just like the voice in the room that these guys may need, or somebody like that. You know, like I don't want to
I
like
agree.
like, and that's another thing too. Like they'd only fire Boone if they had like you only do that if you have a replacement in mind. You know, unless like
For
maybe
sure.
you want to fire him and bring on Phil Nevin. I'm not sure, but like if he was a bench coach, I feel like they might do that. But who's our bench coach? It's Mendoza, right? He's the bench coach.
Yeah, Mendoza.
I mean, I don't even know too much about that guy, but he doesn't seem like
It would be more of a shockwave move, just like a firing Marcus Timms, rather than like a strategic move.
for sure. But like firing Marcus Timms, like that's pretty. Like you could literally just promote somebody to being the
Exactly.
hitting instructor. You know what I'm saying? But like, whereas like for the managers, like the only internal option I would go for would be Phil Nevin. You know, just because he has like that boisterous personality, like kind of like what I liked with Girardi and liked with Showalter. But like if you're not going to go with him, like you kind of do have to have somebody in mind to replace him.
I agree.
And I don't want
agree.
to. I would. It can't be like a newbie. Like you can't like. You cannot hire somebody in the middle of a season that's never managed a game before. Absolutely not.
I know.
So I don't know who that would be. Like, there's Showalter. There's I don't know. Get Bochy out of retirement. Like,
could you imagine? No, I want to like take a little pause from the managerial thing because I still do have some comments on it. But let's take a look at some of these donations. Shout out to Ruben Cruz with a $5 dono. Appreciate you, Ruben. He says A-Rod basically called out inconsistent playing time for Stin. He said big players with power need to play every day to get a rhythm. And Dan, like this is something that's so important, right? Stanton sat yesterday. Even after we kind of heard that he was going to be playing every day of the Boston series, and the fact that the Yankees had an off day today and Friday. So if Giancarlo Stanton doesn't play all 3 games of the Twin series, we might have to riot.
yeah,
There's
bro.
no
but I
reason
think
he shouldn't play all those games.
Like, if we're gonna riot about this, like it comes after yesterday, bro. Because the whole reason why Stanton didn't play in, I think it was a Tampa Bay series, Boone said because we want him to play through the weekend against Boston, and then he plays 2 games in a row, and then he has to sit down. And they brought this up on Talking Yanks. Bro, he sat down after game 2, which he literally didn't run. He was over 4, didn't run the bases at all. So like what are you sore from? And it's kind of annoying too, because like, you know, we don't know if Stanton's like cool with this or on board with it, but it's just like I want to like kind of hear something where like Stanton should want to be in the lineup. Like, bro, like, do you want to play or not? You know, like I'm not saying
But
he's
do you
Carl
think it's on
Pavano,
him?
but like. No, I'm not saying it's on him. Like the organization clearly babies players, and it's not just a problem with Stanton. They do it to freaking 22-year-old Gleyber Torres. But like Stanton, like if I'm Giancarlo Stanton, bro, like if I'm healthy, which if you're on the if you're on the roster, like you're not in the IL, to me, I'm considering you as healthy. That's all we can do. You should be like, no, like start me. It's the Boston freaking Red Sox. Like play me. Like I'm Giancarlo Stanton. I want to be in the lineup. You know, like and I
yes,
think,
you are.
and that's and that's I wish, and that's what I mean. The way my arms look.
No, I know.
That's
Jacked in.
I went out to the gym for a week because my shoulder. But anyways, that's I feel like could possibly be the big difference between Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. Because Judge, wants me in that lineup every day. And as we can see, because he leads the team in games played. Somebody said my mic quality was bad before. I moved it a little bit closer to me. Am I chilling now?
No, you've been good. Listen.
Okay.
Don't pay attention.
Somebody said it was the equivalent of a 2009 COD line.
I saw it.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, which is just not true. Your mic quality is fine.
Thank you.
Let's move on to another donor here. Shout out to MVen with $5 dono. No message, but appreciate you. And also we got Lori with a dono. Appreciate you, Lori. $5 donation. Lori's the best. She says the status quo is clearly not working. Hope is not a plan. And I think that's why Yankee fans are so frustrated. And I think also that's why I'm starting to understand the frustration. In the beginning of the season, we talked about this. When Yankee fans were like, fire Boone, the team's not making the playoffs, we were all like, bro, stop overreacting. But at this point, I'm not bashing any fan who's calling for anyone's job or asking for Cashman to be fired at this point. A Yankee fan has every right to feel however they want about this team right now with no animosity towards them for it. This is a disgusting performance that's kind of be putting out by the Yankees. And I've been saying it for a few days now. If anybody dedicates 3 hours of their night every single night and takes time out of their day to go watch the Yankees, don't do it anymore. Have them on in the background and actually be productive with your lives. I'm sorry, but it's true, bro.
I understand, but keep in mind, some of us have no life, and that's literally all we get to do is watch 3 hours of baseball. But I know. Yeah, and also I just thought of this too. What's kind of crazy, bro, is it seems like this season is kind of everything that people, and I think us as well, complained about this offense when it comes to the playoffs. They kind of just disappear and they can't hit. And usually it's just because they're facing good pitching. I feel like few hitters on the Yankees are good against good pitching consistently, Judge being one of them. But now it seems to all be coming to a head. The offense, we always would point out that they're fundamentally flawed during the playoffs. Well, now it's during, a 60-game sample size. And honestly, it dates back to, middle of last year? Because somebody brought up the stats. I think it was, over the last 100 games. We're over 500, but only by a little bit. I think, over the last 100, we're, maybe, it's 7 or 8 over.
I think it's, the last 120.
Or something like that. I think it may have just been combined. Yeah, it probably is. I think it's just last year and this year combined. But, and it's annoying, too. Not annoying, but it's just, they're already talking about Severino being a trade acquisition, right? Which they do every year.
And so is Britton, and so is Voit, and so is O'Day, and so is Kluber.
But it's if we were say pitching was the problem, okay, say it was 2019 where pitching was a problem, then you can look forward to that. But the pitching's really not the problem outside a few games here and there, particularly really in the last week. But overall, the pitching has not been the problem. It's the offense. So what is Severino going to do? He's going to be playing left field. He's going to play first base. Voit is coming back sooner, I'm pretty sure, than anticipated. I heard all of a sudden that he's going to be back in a couple weeks, maybe, which that would be a big boost. If he's, Luke Voit, doesn't play like he's hurt, but if he's Luke Voit, that's a big boost. But still, I say go get Ketel Marte. He is probably going to take a decent amount to give up because his contract apparently is insane. We'd have him for, he's under control through, I think, this year and next. And I'm pretty sure he has club options for 23 and 24. So just from a control standpoint, the fact that he's a pretty damn good player and having a good year, I'm not saying we got to give up Jason Dominguez, but I may have to give up both Schmidt and Devi, which I'd be for, to be honest. If you believe Marte would be a difference maker, I would give up Schmidt and Garcia.
His contract is stupid. I mean, I just pulled it up. So this season he's making $6 million, next year $8 million, 2023 $10 million, and then 2024 $12 million, and then he's a free agent in 2025.
And let's just say this, which sucks about it too, bro. It's if we're going by the luxury tax, unless we cut salary or dump somebody somehow, we technically can't get Ketel Marte because I'm pretty sure we have $5 million to play with. So but if that's the case, bro, it's just we can't get really anybody. Who are we getting? Unless we're there's nobody to dump really. Who's making a couple $1 million bucks? I mean, unless you're trading Gardner, which I know you'd love, but that's just not going to happen.
Let's not get on this debating. Let's not.
Maybe you can dump Justin Wilson. Maybe I think he makes 2.5. I'm pretty sure, but
or hear me out. Gardner just retires.
He's not going to do that, Pat.
Why? Take the Jay Bruce route. Just retire, Brett.
He's not as bad as Jay Bruce. He still provides value defensively. That's why.
We're not getting
here we go. Let me say one point though. Let me say one point. The whole thing that I've always said is Brett Gardner is a fine fourth outfielder. If the Yankees say, just for example, get Ketel Marte, or even if Aaron Hicks is hurt, Brett Gardner starting once or twice out of every 7 days is not the worst thing in the world. Even if he goes 0 for 4, he still can play solid defense to get you by, more than get you by. So that's what he's supposed to be, as a fourth outfielder. The Yankees, I'm trusting them that we're not going into the postseason with Brett Gardner as our fourth outfielder.
But here's my thing. Here's my thing, Dan. Like we say, like, oh, if the Yankees just go out and acquire Ketel Marte, go for the luxury tax. This is exact. I think Ken Rosenthal said it on MLB Network either today or yesterday, one of these past couple of days. But he said this is the exact reason why he doesn't see the Yankees really doing much at the trade deadline because of the luxury tax. And can you believe, bro, if the Yankees genuinely, and I'm putting this out there, it might be a hot take, I don't know. If the Yankees aren't going to go out there and be buyers at the trade deadline and are just kind of going to settle for what they have right now with Gardner as a center fielder and Sevy coming back and Voit coming back and
Then
consider those acquisitions, bro, literally just sell off. I'm not even playing with you. Sell off. Trade Chapman.
I was gonna say, like, there's very few players that like you really can deal. I mean, like, you're not trading Judge. Chapman, I guess you could. His contract isn't, what is it? Like, he has 2
His
years
value
left.
is probably at like an all-time high right now.
No, you could. No, you definitely could trade Chapman.
Yeah.
You're right on that. I'm just saying, like, I mean, like, Gary doesn't have like too much trade value. I mean, I guess you could trade Voit, but you probably wouldn't, considering he has 2 more years after this. Judge, you're not trading. DJ, you probably can't really trade right now. Glaber, you're not trading unless it's for like a big piece in return to help us get to the playoffs. Gio, you wouldn't trade. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no.
Dan, we're looking at the Yankees right now and talking about potentially selling off at this year's deadline.
Which I'm just saying, if we were, like, I'm not even like close to being like, I would never even consider that, to be honest. But like, and let me say something about the Ken Rosenthal thing.
It's not that unrealistic,
is that, like,
though.
No, it is. No, it's not unrealistic to think that that's what they should do. They're not going to do that. Like, that would be like, they're not doing that. But with Ken Rosenthal, like, I don't blame him for what he said. Like, I'm not saying he's wrong, but like, the thing is that like, he's only going to go off of all we've heard. And all we have heard is that the Yankees aren't going past the luxury tax. Now, a statement hasn't been made on that since the offseason when the Yankees were the favorite to go to the World Series and out of the American League. Now, with the Yankees in 4th place, like, what, 6.5 games out of first, maybe / hopefully Hal Steinbrenner changes his words on that, you know? And if he doesn't, I don't necessarily blame him in a way, because like, he does, what is it, 200 and whatever million payroll. Like, he may think like, how's his team not making the playoffs? Maybe Brian Cashman's doing a bad job. Maybe Aaron Boone's doing a bad job. But hopefully Steinbrenner will give Cashman an extra, I don't know, fuck, even an extra $10 million to play with, bro. Like, I understand that equates to so much more because of the luxury tax and like the draft picks you lose. But like, I just got to hope that Steinbrenner is going to give us some more money to spend, because we can't tell Marte if we don't.
I want to take things to a different route here, and this might kind of spark your interest a lot.
You want to go
Aaron
on a
Judge?
date?
No, I mean, no, we have before, you know. But Aaron Judge, bro, I kind of feel bad for him. Like, is it just like right now? Aaron Judge has easily been the Yankees' best hitter so far this season, the most consistent hitter so far this season. I know you're going to go more in depth about him, but I mean, other than like that 1 week in May when like we were there. He's just been amazing this season, to the point where he's carrying this team on his back.
Yeah,
he might have to go on the aisle with like back tightness.
He's not going on the AL, but yeah, no, I mean, at this point, like,
man.
I know. But at this point, yo, like, it's not even worth mentioning that 1 week stretch. You know, I know you're just saying because that's the only time he was bad.
Yeah.
But like, that's just baseball, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, like, when they're hot, they're hot. When they're cold, they're cold. And Judge, especially when he's cold, he's like really cold. Like, when he's not seeing the ball like that week, that was bad. But like, bro, his overall season numbers are insane. I tweeted this out this morning. Like, the Yankees offensive leaders: games, Judge; average, Judge; on base, Judge; slugging, Judge; weighted runs created plus, Judge; home runs, RBIs, WAR, Judge. Like, bro, so far and away. Even if DJ was like playing like DJ or playing a lot better than he was now, like, he wouldn't even come close to the numbers Judge is putting up. He's having like an MVP caliber season. He's not like a front runner right now because his power has kind of fallen off a little bit over the last like week or two since he won that crazy tear. But Judge is in a position right now. He's playing so well that he's in a position where he's one like crazy Judge stretch away, power stretch from like skyrocketing into the number 1 MVP candidate from the American League this year. Like, that's what's so dope about it. Like, when you're just looking at it as like a statistical thing, what are you laughing at, bro? When you just look at it as like,
I just saw this comment, not so family fun. Why we should do.
Well, let me just finish my point here. Judge, just looking at his stats, like, you know, this is something else I say, like, regardless of if the Yankees, like, say they do fall out of it, there's always going to be one reason to watch. There's going to be 2 reasons to watch. Garrett Cole start days, and 2, you get to see Aaron Judge every day, right? And from looking at it as like a selfish for Aaron Judge point of view, we legitimately could see an MVP season this year because he's set up with really good numbers so far without having a crazy stretch. He had a crazy stretch of hitting the ball hard and that week of hitting homers, but he still hasn't had like a September 2017 stretch or like a beginning of 2020 stretch. Once he goes on that, bro, we're talking like an OPS of 1 dot plus. We're looking at a slugging percentage over 600. His OBP is already at like 400. He's hitting right around 300.
Yeah.
He's having a good season, bro. He's having a very good season.
Dan, I know, but also I think kind of if we're like imagining like a Judge MVP campaign, I think Lori kind of brings up a good point. It's going to be tough for him to do it on such a bad team.
Yeah, nah, for sure. But also too, I mean, I do figure that the Yankees are going to finish ahead of the Blue Jays this year. I'm just figuring, knock on wood, hopefully they do. And right now, Vlad is the MVP front runner in the American League, and I still think they would give it to him.
He's
now,
such a beast, bro.
He's fat too, but whatever.
Okay, bro, he lost so much weight.
I know, but it's funny when I got hired at John Boy, Jimmy and Jake were literally like, I know you have quite an active mouth on Twitter. You just can't be calling like Vlad Jr. a fat slob like you usually do.
That's so one glad you didn't just do that.
Well, it's not written down right now. Anyways, I feel like that's kind of like lightened up a little bit past a year or so, or a couple years where like they don't really care about how, because Mike Trout's won. I mean, like how about if the Angels done?
Yes, but like, I still have an outlier season though.
True. You got to be like substantially better. But
Trout season.
I still think like the Yankees they're gonna get a wild card spot at the very they have like the Yankees. I mean this. I'm not just being Mr. Optimistic here. The Yankees are like they're a good team. Like maybe not a good team. They have good talent, and good talent eventually turns into a good team. They just got to click, and we thought they clicked over that 2-week span. They'll do that again. Like we 100% know. Like Pat, will you admit at some point this year the Yankees are going to have another good run? But whether that leads to like the playoffs or not, they're going to go on a little run where like they have like I don't know, they're 10-3 in 13 game stretch. You know what I'm saying?
No, they will.
We just need something like that.
Dan, like we look back at that kind of 2-week stretch that they went on. Like I know this is kind of like recency bias, but like they weren't that good. They got lucky.
You're right.
Especially the offense. The pitching carried them in that stretch.
Exactly. It was the pitching 100%, but. It's just
like we're a fourth place team right now. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's
we're playing weird. We're playing like a freaking worst team in the AL right now. But it just goes back to what I've been saying, bro. Like it all relies on like the offense cannot be this bad. Like I look at players individually, and like I said before, if LeMahieu doesn't turn it around, we're screwed. If Stanton can't stay healthy, we're probably screwed. But I am anticipating that DJ has to be better than he is right now. Stanton is going to get hot. Gary's been pretty good. Gleyber Torres hopefully is going to eventually hit for power, and with MLB cracking down on like the sicky stuff over the next 2 weeks. Like that.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
And yeah, I know we're going to lead to with this, and it actually is a concern to be honest. But what I'm saying is, like that could have an actual effect on not just how the Yankees perform offensively, but the entire league. Because let's keep in mind, even though the Yankees are like worst in like just the worst in the league about like every offensive category, like MLB as a whole is hitting historically bad. Like the strikeouts are at a historic rate right now, and you might think, or you would hope to think that when pitchers stop using like the pine tar and whatnot to get the extra spin rate, get more break on their balls, maybe the offense picks up a little bit for all of baseball and the Yankees.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. It's just so weird right now because we kind of mentioned how MLB's cracking down on this sticky stuff that pitchers are using across the league. And one guy who has kind of very widely known used this to his advantage is Garrett Cole from his Astros days. And now you kind of look at Cole's first start since MLB announced that they are going to be cracking down. And his spin rate was like 300 less than what it usually is or something. He got rocked. So, and
it's so coincidental that it's on the exact day that it came out that MLB was
so ironic. So ironic. And I remember like someone in the chat asked me about this. And personally, I'm not going to get too worried right now just because it's not a sample size yet. It's just one start. However, if this starts to become a trend for Garrett Cole and all of a sudden he's just like Pirates Garrett Cole, like it's a realistic possibility that I think people have a right to be concerned about right now.
Yeah, right? No, 100%. Now, I will say though, like I don't think Garrett Cole is going to all of a sudden turn into like 2016 Michael Pineda. Like I still think he would be like I still think
facing this week, by the way, as well
true,
as J-Cap. Yeah.
Yep. But I think like he would still be, a solid pitcher, like a top 10 pitcher in the AL. But like, yeah, no, it is a legitimate concern that the very day that MLB came out, they're going to start cracking down on this stuff. Cole, his RPM, his spin rate was down, substantially down, like enough to notice, and he did not have a good start against the Rays. Now, you bring up that are we going to get Pirates to Garrett Cole? And the optimistic side of that is like Cole, he obviously wasn't as good with the Pirates as he was once he got to the Astros and now the Yankees. But he still was a solid pitcher, had a really good season in 2015, won 19 games with like a 2.6 ERA. So I'd like to imagine even without the sticky stuff, Garrett Cole is still like going to be a pitcher that we look at as our ace, But
no, I agree. But at the same time,
also let's get something clear here. I'm not trying to take blame off Garrett Cole, but it's honestly true. So many pitchers are using it. Like there's DeGrom is using it now. And bro, I don't care in terms of like like I don't care if like other pitchers are using it for the fact that like everybody, at least it seems, everybody is using it. But once like if MLB really is implementing like that they're cracking down on this, like nobody better be on it. Like I'm gonna look at it the same as steroids. Once there's actually like a policy in place, because that's the same way I feel about steroids now. Looking back, like I don't in my head punish anybody who used before they implemented penalties. But once they start doing that now, like where they're really cracking down on this, nobody should use it. And whoever is, if you get caught, like it should be like a substantial suspension. Like I'm talking like a month. Like you have to miss like 2, 3, 4 starts.
I think kind of outside of that, rather than a suspension, you just have like the guys stand in front of a stadium and just give every fan a rock to throw at them.
Yeah, that's cool. I wish Jose Altuve.
Or they could just do that with the Astros. No, yeah.
We're
throwing everyone's rock. Just
and how do you feel about the F Altuve chance when they're not even playing the Astros?
All right, now this is interesting because
I didn't actually hate it at first, but last night, bro, I had my breaking point with it.
Okay, so I didn't hate it at first either, right? I think the first time I heard them when the Yankees weren't playing the Astros, I was like, oh, like that's kind of funny. But now it was getting to a point.
The series right after.
Yeah. It was the National Series, I believe. But now it's getting to the point where it's like, bro, the Astros are almost just like living in our heads rent free. You know what I mean? And I don't want to I don't want to put Yankee fans feeling like that because it starts to feel like when like the Mets play the Red Sox and there's like Yankees suck chants. Like I don't want to be one of those fan bases.
Bro, if like maybe if they want to like just for this year, like make it almost like part of the roll call where the first inning you drop a couple FL2 chants and they're like that. Okay, whatever. Bro, last night after the Yankees, I'm not sure if it was right after they blew the game or it was after they lost the lead in the 10th. They started chanting it, bro. Like probably a good, I don't know, few hundred were chanting FL2. And I was like, tweets like the Yankees just blew the lead to the Boston Red Sox on the verge of getting swept, and Jose Altuve is on your mind right now. Like,
but this is what I'm saying, and this is I mentioned this so often. I mention this so often, bro. As much as like, bro, we're like diehard Yankee fans, right? I'm assuming 90% of the people in the chat are diehard Yankee fans. However, I say about 75% of people who attend Yankee games on a regular basis are a casual fan, right? They're going there for a good time, a fun experience. So if they're sitting in the bleachers and someone starts an FL Tuve chant, they're just going to go along with it. And it's just kind of like a fun thing to do. They want to like catch on to the wave, no pun intended. And just kind of like be a part of that crew and just rip the Astros to shreds because they actually missed the Astros series itself, which we were at actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody didn't miss it.
It's a little bit corny at this point, only because personally, I know we talked about this. Altuve is not even my least favorite Astro, so I think the fact that they're kind of like taking this whole like FL Tuve thing to the next level.
Was it Correa for you? Correa or Bregman? Bregman has a stupid face, but it's Altuve for me.
It's probably Correa, just because of his comments afterwards.
Yeah. Which speaking of Ken Rosenthal before, bro, the best Ken Rosenthal moment was when like Correa was like, we stopped cheating after 2017. And Ken was like, that's not true. Like it literally said in the report, you cheated in 2018 too.
I love Ken Rosenthal. But also,
by the way, Lori asked, is this hair product? Yeah, it is. Because I usually have a baseball that I fiddle around with my hands. And I left that at somebody's house. So this is hair product.
Dan, fidget cube. Do you have a fidget cube?
No. It's funny because so many people ask me that because I'm like the perfect person to have that. Yeah. But the baseball works for me so well, bro. Like I'm just like when I'm driving too. Like I just like holding the car, like making different little pitch grips in my hand. JV Junior on JV pitch of the year right here, just to let y'all know.
That's actually funny. But let's see. Yankee Fan for Life says, I think this is exactly what makes the chance feel even worse, right? The Astros are one of the best teams in baseball. The Astros have been much better so far this season than the Yankees have been. So it's if the Astros were bad this season and the Yankees were doing very good, I guarantee you're not hearing FL Tuve chants. Especially if the Yankees were doing good, bro. This would be the last thing on fans' minds.
I guess, yeah. I still think they would probably be doing it. But, like, speaking of, like, the Astros, like, that's why I kind of thought, like, because of the Astros series, the way they played against them, that's kind of how I thought they would show up against the Red Sox and Tampa Bay this week. Because, like, it did feel where, like, the Yankees felt the importance of that series. And, like, they came ready to play as if it was a postseason series. Like, they stepped up to their competition. And even though they blew in Game 3, like, overall, that series, like, the Yankees played well. Like, that was some clean baseball, good, timely hitting. Giancarlo Stanton was tearing the cover off the ball. I really thought they were going to show up ready to play this past week like they did the Astros series. Because that was like – I'm not sure if that was like the meat of or like the start of the Yankees playing really well, but it was right around that time. I think what was it, beginning of May? So that was like right around when we started to turn it around, or like right after
first week of May. I think
series we did, yeah. So like, I thought that would maybe be like the jumpstart for us, but now we just got to look to Minnesota. Bro, Kay said it best today. Like, you have to sweep them. Simple as that. Bro. Like, you just have to like sweep the Minnesota Twins. Like, I don't want 2 out of 3. Like, and bro. Lord help me if they lose game 1. Like, win game 1 and then just go from there. Win game 2, game 3. You got an off day on Friday, and then take care of business in Philadelphia, who I don't think they're doing too great. The Phillies, I don't think they're doing amazing this year.
Yeah,
At least it's kind of slugging a little bit, but in a bad
that's
way.
my thing, right? The Yankees have a 3-game set against the Twins, off day today, and then an off day Friday. So just 3 games of that Twins. That's all you worry about, right? But also you're going 2 of the games. One of them is against J Happ, and the other is against Michael Pineda. If the Yankees do not sweep this series, the season's over. I'm sorry. Like, bro, I'm probably giving up on this team. I'll be so disgusted to the point where I'm not gonna know what to do with myself. Like, I'm actually gonna have no hope moving forward. If you can't sweep one of the worst teams in the American League, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't, bro. We just got swept by the Tigers in Detroit, so we can't even say that it's such a crazy idea to think that we're gonna get swept by the Twins.
No, you're not wrong at all, and it's even less crazy to think that don't even have a chance at sweeping. But I got the pitching matchups here. So Montgomery, Pineda tomorrow. 8 o'clock, all 8 o'clock games, by the way. And then Wednesday, it's Cole versus Uber Boy. Remember Uber Boy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's actually struggling mightily. 1-5, 6.19. And then we got Hap on Thursday, who he's been terrible, 5.61 ERA, and it's to be determined for us. But I'm pretty sure it'd be Tyone because I think he goes after Cole now. The way it's slots.
But that's my thing. Like, bro, you mentioned Randy Dobnak. It has a 6.19 ERA so far this season.
I think Pineda's doing the best out of all of them, but we got to hit him.
No, he's having a good season actually. But I mean,
yeah, he's always had good stuff. Pineda's been that guy. Like, if you had to pick somebody that's not a good pitcher but could just fuck around or f around and win a Cy Young, it'd just be Michael Pineda. I agree. There, I think I did, but I'm sorry.
No, you did. It's fine. No one heard it. Men in Black. But listen, Randy Dobnak is one of those guys that's just gonna come out and dominate the Yankees. The Yankees can't seem to hit bad pitching. They just can't sit, bro. Anytime we face a bad pitcher, we absolutely get shelled by them. Easy.
Yeah. No,
same thing's gonna happen with Hap, I guarantee it.
Who was it, bro? And even just getting shut out by Rich Hill, he's not even terrible, but whoever this it happens all the time. Yeah, but and that's why during that stretch where we were playing well, we were beating up on bad teams. The Tiger series at home, I think we swept them then, right? At home, the Tiger series.
Yeah.
We were hitting their bad pitching, and that's what you're supposed to do. The Twins, they're not good this year, and probably the one team that's been more disappointing than us. You got to show up and at the very least take 2 out of 3. You have to take 2 out of 3, but go in there trying to sweep. Play well, sweep the damn series. That's all I ask.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, right? Because going into this 6-game, it was 7-game stretch actually, because Tampa was a 4-game series. Going into this 7-game stretch between the Rays and the Red Sox, I think personally, I thought to myself, this means so much for the season, and it means so much for our mentality about this team moving forward. And I think it kind of ended in the worst possible way. I mean, they ended up going 2-5 in that 7-game stretch, and they kind of won 2 games against the Rays by the skin of their teeth, bro.
Well. Yeah,
they didn't even play well in those games. Mm-hmm. So moving forward, what's gonna have to happen for the Yankees is I don't know what more of a wake-up call they're gonna need. I said if they lost 2 out of 3 from Boston, we were going to see some major changes, and that was going to be the wake-up call. They got swept by Boston. I was hoping maybe we would see something drastic.
I thought today, bro, we'd at least get a Brian Cashman press conference. I mean, he addressed the media after a slow start over the first 2 weeks of the season, and he doesn't address it after we're in the middle of a 2-10 stretch and just got swept at home by the Red Sox. The Rays series, we didn't play well, but we split, whatever, the Boston series, just the Boston series, bro, getting swept by them, that's where something has to be addressed. You got to be even something as simple as bro, in the post games, Boone should just say it's embarrassing the way we're playing. Not we got to get not the typical
I really
BS.
have faith in our guys.
Yeah, it's just bro, this is embarrassing. I would even say the word pathetic. I know our guys are trying, but the performance has been pathetic. Say something like that. I know he's not going to do that. That's part of why they hired him, got rid of Girardi, so he wouldn't. Girardi would be freaking out right now.
Oh, easily, bro.
Bro, he'd have the freaking veins in his forehead, veins in the neck,
But that's my thing. Kind of going back to that managerial thing real quick. I know we kind of mentioned Buck Showalter would be a perfect fit for this team. I think it's almost time that the Yankees kind of just settle into their own and realize we thought that Aaron Boone was going to be the guy who was going to be the face of this baby Bombers emergence and was going to be the perfect fit for them. But now here we are. And I think that they needed a veteran manager to kind of get that deal done. No,
I'm with you, bro. That's why, I said, if they were to fire now, I mean, if you go if you're firing Boone, say because if they miss the playoffs, and probably even if they like haven't, even if they win the East this
Imagine
year
they
and have
miss
an
the
early
playoffs
exit,
and he comes
if they
back.
miss the playoffs, like I actually don't think there's a shot. So that's what I'm getting into now. Like if that happens, like Boone rides out the rest of the year, they miss the playoffs, Boone gets let go, then I think maybe you can hire if like that's where it'd be somewhat acceptable to maybe get another guy that's a newbie manager, but like you trust is a different mind than Boone or a different voice in the room because that's what we really need is a different voice in the room. But if you're firing Aaron Boone in season, you have to get a veteran guy. Like, and
You
I prefer
have
that
to.
regardless. Like, even if it's in the offseason, I prefer to get a veteran guy, but I could maybe forgive them a little more if they didn't, if it's the offseason. But in season, you got like I would get Showalter. Like, Showalter, everyone knows wants to manage again. And if the reason why they don't want to hire Showalter is because like he doesn't have much of an analytical mind, like literally just manage the lineup yourself. Like Cashman, if you want to control the lineup, like I'm cool with that because they. No, I think I do. From what I've read and actually heard, like Boone apparently does control the lineup, and I do kind of believe that. I think he has input, and that's how most franchises are. But Cashman, if he did do the lineup, whoever in the front office did the lineup, like you probably have Judge batting second, Stanton batting third. Like it wouldn't be too crazy because the lineup is already pretty analytical right now. So I'd be cool with that, and just have Buck Showalter be the guy that riles everybody up, tells them when they're effing up, and roll with that. Like who wouldn't want Buck Showalter to manage his team? Like I think everybody would want that right now with the way they're playing.
But that's my thing. I think the thing that the Yankees need right now is just some sort of accountability, and they don't have that. And I think that kind of comes from Aaron Boone not holding anyone accountable for anything. And at this point, you know how we kind of mentioned the whole like FL Tuve chants from the fan base and everything. I think at this point, the Yankee fan base needs to like change their tides from going after Jose Altuve. Bro, give me like a fire Boone chant. Give me a fire, bro. I would like that or like a fire Cashman chant, something that actually impacts the organization.
I wouldn't have been surprised if, like, say yesterday, like, they were caught up in that. It was a good game yesterday, but say we were down, like, I don't know, 6-0, 7-0 early, and they had the whole game to just dwell on it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if we did get like a fire Boone chant. Like, I think it's coming. It's coming, bro.
No, it has to be.
And
it has to.
I'll tell you what, bro. And they kind of alluded to this. I listened to a little bit on the Michael K show today, and Kay was talking about this, like, how Steinbrenner, like, maybe right now he doesn't feel the need to make a change or like, go over the luxury tax or something. But like when you factor in that in the end, this is a business. If people start showing up to the ballpark, like because the product on the field isn't good, like then he might just be like, this is unacceptable. Like this is a business that he has to profit off of. And if because say the poor management from Boone, or even trading away guys that aren't performing well. Like I know you're a big Clint Frazier guy. I was too going into the season, but it's June, bro, and he's hitting like a $1.90 every time.
No, I can't.
With Frazier, bro, it's like one step forward, two steps back. Like I would be cool honestly at this point, like taking whatever we can get for Clint Frazier, because I don't want him unless he totally flips the script over the next month or so. But
he's gonna succeed elsewhere though.
Sure, I don't care, but he's not succeeding here. It's the same as Sonny Gray in a way. Like I don't want Clint Frazier as my left fielder next year.
It's exactly
like,
Sonny Gray.
Trade. No, honestly, bro, you could probably Clint. Now he wouldn't be like the piece. Like he could maybe be the piece that closes the deal to Ketel Marte. Like I would be cool including him in that. Yeah. Get Ketel Marte. We have him under control the next 4 years. He'll play center field. And who's our left fielder right now? God, it's Miguel Andujar. Wait, who was our left fielder going into the season? What am I?
Clint.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay, so you'd have, I guess, Ketel Marte in center, and then fuck it, Miguel Andujar in left field. I just cursed again. I'm really sorry.
No, you're good.
You know what I'm saying, though? It's just like
no, but that's exactly my thing, right? And I think the Yankees' problems kind of. I mean, speaking about Miguel Andujar, right? Now, he's a guy that's very intriguing as far as just the total package goes. Because, yes, he has a solid bat. However, his defense is such a liability out there. I can't see the Yankees starting Miguel Andujar in left field in a playoff game. I genuinely just can't see it. And I don't think his bat is good enough to kind of make up for that lack of defense out there. So
what do you
start in the outfield?
So if this were like, say I came on and like before like the Red Sox series, I actually would have somewhat fought you on this, that Miguel Andujar has looked pretty damn comfortable in left field, a lot better than he used to. But we saw it on, what was it, the first game? Whatever, that ball he should have caught in left field against the wall, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Andujar being in left field during a big game, it is a liability. You can stick him out there if he's hitting well, but not like during a playoff game. So come postseason time, this is my second point. I've always said this about Stanton. If Stanton's healthy for the postseason, that ultimately means like your plan for him to stay healthy has technically worked. Get him through the regular season, have him healthy for the postseason, and at that point, F it. Play him in left field, and then Andujar can DH if you want to keep his bat in the lineup. So then you can have an outfield alignment of Stanton, hopefully Marte, Judge, and Andujar can DH.
Could you imagine? I mean, that would be an ideal situation
let's
because
just get-
also, bro,
I know
I
we-
want Gary DHing in the playoffs.
I'm sorry, Gary's defense. Like I don't even. It's an afterthought.
No, but I'm saying he's not going to catch for Cole though.
Sorry, at this point, he probably should. If
He's not.
you know, if Cole like craps the bed in this next start, and I'm not saying it's against Joker's fault at all, but Higgy's bat has not been worth like making the argument to keep him in the lineup for offensive purposes, bro. Like at some point, just during the summer, just start Gary during a Cole game because it come postseason time, bro. Like I'm sorry, Gary, he's a better hitter than Kyle Higashioka. He just is.
No, easily.
I'd start Gary at catcher. Unless he just takes a total defensive crap. I'm feeling really good without cursing right now.
No, you've been awesome. You've been awesome.
Thank you. But I forgot what I was about to say. But oh yeah, this is the point I was going before. I know we hate talking about like the Yankees on paper because it always seems to lead to bad things.
No,
like getting disappointed. But let's just say we get Marte, right? Voigt's coming back. Like we are going to have a lineup that would hopefully look like Gary's catching, Voigt's at first, DJ at second, who you hope rebounds, Gio at third, who's been solid, Glaber, who's been getting better. Hopefully he has his power at short, and then left field Stanton come postseason, Marte in center field, Judge in right field, and Duhar at DH. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like I can't help but like in a way be optimistic about it, but I mean I'm just like brainwashed, I guess, or like just so like maybe not recency bias for the fact
a little
that
bit
like
delusional.
Bro, I guess I don't know, but it's like is it delusional in a way? Because it's like the back of these guys' baseball cards suggests they will get better. You know?
I know, but it's like we've been thinking that for like 3 months now.
I know. The only part I'm not like that makes me feel like pessimistic is like the dead baseballs because like that could be the explanation right there. Dead baseballs and the sticky stuff that pitchers are using. Which
but so why are we like? I understand offense is down all around the league, but if the Yankees have so much talent on their roster, why are we not like sticking out from the pack then? Because everyone's playing with the same baseball.
But the thing is, yes, but the Yankees are like essentially naked when they can't hit home runs. So them deadening the baseball that lessens their ability to hit home runs, which as we've seen has been like their only production of offense over the last 3 years.
Change your strategy.
No, I know, and that's what I was going to say. Why the Yankees aren't doing as well offensively as other teams are, even though we all have the same dead ball, is because other teams are better at legitimately playing baseball, moving runners over, bunting, stealing bases. We're not good at that. We're not designed to do that. If we start hitting home runs, then all of a sudden we're going to be the best offense in the American League. But right now, we're just not doing that. Like because you think about it too, it's like the way we're designed is to hit home runs, right? And if we can't do that, like who's the guy that's going to be like bunting or the quick guy that's going to steal a base or like make a heads up play? That.
Tyler Wade. I like Tyler Wade.
Yeah, sure. And bro, at this point, until Voigt comes back, please just start Wade over Odor. I'm done with Odor by that. And I've been done for a while. He's not good. He's a nice guy. He's had some big moments. And I said it yesterday. It would have been so fitting. It sucks the bat was taken out of his hands. It would have been so fitting for Odor to get a walk-off hit yesterday. Then he'd go like 0 for his next 21.
Oh,
like, that'd
easily,
be so
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
like the definition
I'd stop playing
of
Odor. But what I'm saying is just like I don't blame Cash necessarily for this offense if it is the dead ball that caused them being so bad because his team's built to hit home runs, and it could be very well that the dead ball is the reason they're not.
It was a bad technique in the first place to kind of like build a team based on home runs, especially without any left-handed bats as well.
It's like I'm not big time on that. No, I'm
Yeah.
totally with you on that. I don't think anybody can even dispute that at this point. But like postseason, sure, with what you just said, that it's not smart in the first place to build. But like, bro, regular season wise, like this is the first year where it's not working. Like you could say last year too, 60-game season, and also like a good half of last year we were very hurt, didn't have Stanton or Judge. But like 2018 to 2019, like it totally worked. Like it got us to the regular season. Like we had historic offensive numbers, historic home run numbers.
It doesn't win postseason games though, Dan. We know
that's
this.
fair. No, that's what I said before though. Like if you're talking postseason, sure, but in terms of the regular season, like and somebody said the dead baseball argument is BS. Like I'm not saying that it is true, but it's just like it is something to think about because it's not just the Yankees that aren't hitting home runs. Like it's down all across baseball.
I guess. I mean, listen, shout out to Ruben Cruz, the $5 dono. He says the dead baseball argument is BS, especially when you have a guy like Jesse Winker who's hitting 350 with 17 home runs, and Castellanos is hitting 359 with 12 home runs. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, Castellanos is funny as hell, by the way. I watched like an interview. He's cool, but he'd be a good Yankee if he was a little more. Calm down.
Okay, but I hate. Okay, you're not. No, you're not. Okay, let's get into this a little bit. Just because before we do wrap things up, I want to bring out like the inner boomer and Dan. Right? We know that you're not a fan of Bat.
Let me just ask real quick. Who's running the Unhinged Yankees social media team that keeps calling me a boomer on Twitter? Is that you?
No, that's me.
Okay. Go on.
Bro, I wouldn't let anyone else call you a boomer. Trust me. But no, I mean. I think it's just kind of strange because you're so like nuanced when it comes to certain things, but then there's certain aspect of the game where you're just like you have such a closed mind. And I was shocked when I saw you post a tweet about it was either like Alec Manoah or something, or someone just showed a lot of emotion on the field. Bro, give Alec Manoah a break. It's his major league debut at Yankee Stadium. His entire family's there. He could show a little bit of emotion if he wants.
Okay, but referring to the Alec Manoah tweet, Pat, I'm gonna have to group you into the people who can't read because what I said was, man, I can tell I'm gonna hate this Alec Manoah kid screaming off the mound like that. I don't like him, but since it's his major league debut, I'll cut him some slack. Now, listen, everybody, if you don't know, I am. Somebody just called me intimidating. Ooh, I'm big. If you guys don't know, I don't know.
Not why.
I feel like I am so nice. Like what? Anyways, what the hell was I gonna say? I am very much so like in line with like classic Yankee like class. You know what I'm saying? Like being a prideful Yankee, I want the buttons all the way up. I want the shave, like the clean shave forever. I don't like bat flips unless, and here's what people seem to forget about me. I like them in the postseason and in big moments, bro.
So what about Gleyber's bat flip the other day? So you don't like Fernando Tatis Jr.?
No, he's all right, but
he's all right.
Listen. That home run he had against Houston, right?
Huge.
Game-tying home run in the 9th inning, bro. Bat flip all you want. The one he did was a little bit extra, but whatever. I'll let it slide. Tatis, he also does that stuff when it's like the 3rd inning and they're up by 5 runs. And like that's annoying. Like I don't like that. Part of the big reason why I'm such an Aaron Judge fan is after all these years, all these all-star appearances, all these awards and accolades he's had, historical offensive success, he hits a 500-foot home run. What does he do? He just puts his head down and runs. But come postseason, you'll see Aaron Judge do a still classy but bat flip or a bat toss. You'll see him, get pumped yelling around first base. But I'm sorry, if it's a game in May, like hit a home run and just go run around the bases. Like I'm sorry.
But why does that matter to you, bro? We love when baseball's fun, right? And if bat flips make baseball fun, bro,
it's fun. No, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm saying like it's basically if. No, I don't have a problem with like Tatis doing because he's not on my team. But would I want Tatis doing that if he was on the Yankees? Not a chance. You have to cut.
That's what I'm saying. Going back to the Gleyber bat flip the other day.
That was what inning was that? That was like 5th inning,
like the 4th or 5th, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't too big on that.
No, it's not that serious though.
If it's the 9th, no, it's not. I mean, we're laughing, having fun with it. But like, if it's the 9th inning, game tying home run against the Red Sox, yeah, sure. But like, you know what it is? It's like. It's just the fact that we're the Yankees. Like I said before, I'm big into like one of my favorite quotes of all time, and it gives me chills just thinking about it right now. George Steinbrenner, I think it was like at the 1978 camp. He looks at all those guys, the Yankees that year, and he's this is the Yankees. When you put on this uniform, you're not just wearing a baseball uniform. You're wearing tradition and you're wearing pride. So act like it. And that's the way I feel about the Yankees. Like the pinstripes represent class, and to me, bat flipping obnoxiously is not class. Now I'm cool with the bat tosses, like that's emotion, but like. Gleyber's bat toss to me, like, not saying that's showing up because I don't think pitchers get that offended by it nowadays, but it's just kind of like it's a little too cocky. I'm not a big cocky person, I should be cocky with how stunning I am, but just kidding.
I'm kicking you off, bro. Like, no,
hey,
like here's my thing.
Tonight,
you say that like the pinstripes are representative of like tradition and class. However, the pinstripes are also a kind of representation of the Yankees organization and winning. Right? This team's not winning. So you can't kind of whip it both ways. If it's not going to represent winning, it's not going to represent class, bro. And personally, I don't think because a guy bat flips, that means he's not classy. That doesn't mean that he's not a good role model to kids. I'm sorry, bro. You can't tell me
I'm not saying it's about
what makes Fernando Tatis Jr. a bad representation of baseball. If anything, he's a perfect representation of baseball.
I don't take my words out of context. Never say like, he's on his way to honestly, he's going to be the face of baseball. Like he populated, he's going to be there.
No, but here you are. You're commenting on his dreadlocks. No. You're commenting on his bat flips.
I didn't say that. I said if he was on the Yankees, I don't want him bat flipping like that, and he'd have to cut the dreadlocks. I'm speaking from a Yankee fan's perspective, right? Like if me as a Yankee fan, I'm not saying everybody, but like Tatis, he can do whatever he wants. I'm just saying I personally don't like it. Does that mean he shouldn't do it? No, ideally he stops. No, I'm kidding. But if you were on the Yankees, I wouldn't like it, and that's all I can speak from.
I guess that's fair. That was actually a perfect.
Look at how you feel gassing up in the comments, bro. I appreciate it.
Look,
A lot of people are agreeing with me.
No, it's interesting because I'm looking at the chat and it's like it's mostly 50-50, right? Hashtag shut up, Dan. I bet Dan likes the no beard policy. We talked about this a while ago.
Bro. I love it.
It's the
Not for the fact that I
stupidest
can't
thing
grow
ever. Garrett
No,
Cole
it's
with a
not.
beard is the most beautiful man alive. He's
No,
beautiful
Garrett
now,
Cole with a
but I
nice
mean,
clean Garrett Cole with a nice clean shave and the long, luscious brown hair, perfectly trimmed right above the neck, is perfect.
let me ask chat.
Grow a
Chat,
mustache. Look,
do you guys like Garrett Cole better with a beard or without a beard? I don't think there's
No.
any denying Garrett Cole looks better
there's
with a beard.
one player that the Yankees should have gotten rid of that rule for, made an exception for. Brian McCann. He looked horrible without a beard. That's the one player, sure.
Bro. Let Brett Gardner grow a beard.
Care. No. This is the freaking Yankees, bro.
What does that mean, though?
Austin doesn't want me back on the podcast, Pat. I'm never coming back again.
Don't invite him.
I'm looking at all these comments now.
All right,
Gabby, sorry. Hold on, Gabby. 18-year-olds only, by the way. No, it's an inside joke. It's an inside
Austin
joke.
says with Yankee fan for life with beard. Cole is hot as hell. Beard for sure. I like Cole better with the sticky stuff. That's true. With a beard but cleaned up. Beard because Dan would get bro. Not one person has said without beard. I think you're in the minority with this one.
I don't give up, bro.
All right,
I don't.
You got
look
Luke.
beards.
You got Luke.
Luke, I love you. Let's go on a date. No, I'm kidding. I am very for the clean shave policy, and I'm not stressing about it. Want to know why? Because it ain't going away.
It will. I think in our lifetime, it's going to go away. I think it is, Dan. I think so.
Now, hey, if they did change it, like maybe if let's just say they're going to change it regardless, what I would be most content with if they had to change it was it's still got to look clean. Like, I don't want no 2013 Red Sox disgusting, homeless-looking beards. And I'm sorry, I don't want the dreadlocks. Like, I'm watching the pinstriped New York freaking Yankees play.
Okay, but Dan, this is the last
class.
thing this is the last comment I'm gonna make on the situation. It might be risky. I don't care. You can't sit here and tell me that the Yankees represent tradition and class. We have two guys with like domestic abuse allegations. So it's like,
oh my God, bro.
No, Dan, you can't.
No,
you can't put it both ways because you can't say that guys can have beards because the Yankees represent class, but then condone that. You can't.
Yes. Okay, I understand exactly what you're saying, and from your point of view, you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
But the Yankees, they're a classful organization. They're a classful business. Keyword business. Domingo Germán, assuming that's who you're talking about, and Aroldis Chapman, they are assets. I cannot emphasize this enough. If the Yankees released Domingo Germán, got rid of him, there would be 29 other teams lining up to sign him right away.
So
if
Domingo Germán grows a beard, you fire him?
You sit him. Like, he wouldn't grow a beard. Like, you can't grow a beard.
But, okay, so you sit him for growing a beard, but not for the outside stuff.
No, that's not even relatable, bro. You're gonna pay me as a PR
you just said, bro.
No, I'm not saying I'm gonna hold on, relax. If Herman's on the team, which he is, and I only speak on Domingo Germán, the pitcher, like him as a person, yeah, he's a piece of crap. But is my job to root for him to have a good life or be a good man? Ideally, yes. But all I pay attention to is him as the pitcher. Correct? We're Yankee fans. We root for the Yankees to succeed.
So why do you care what his facial hair looks like?
It's not that deep, bro. I just like the clean shave look, and I don't compare clean shave or having a clean shave policy to their domestic violence policy. Bro, the Twitter people are going to be going crazy on me, bro, calling me a freaking – this is a PR nightmare.
All right, with that being said, that is going to wrap things up for today's off-day stream. Dan, we went like an hour and 10 minutes. Shout out to everybody in the chat who has stuck around this entire time.
Bro, people really think I'm like – and can we just get it clear, Pat? Back me up here. Like, I am not like a boomer. I just like – it's that one area of like – and it's for the fact – I guarantee you, if I weren't a Yankee fan – like as somebody says, Dan is moving. If I weren't a Yankee fan, I'd probably feel entirely different. But I am a Yankee fan, and – this is how it is, bro.
Listen, everyone has a right to their own opinion. Facial hair policy, no facial hair policy. I don't care. But we could both agree, no names on the back of jerseys. Let's go. With that being said, appreciate everybody for stopping by tonight. Dan is going to be on for most of the off-day streams. I think we're going to keep those rolling. I know you guys like them. So stay tuned for next time. Chat, you guys know the deal. I will be live tomorrow for the Yankees pregame at 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow because the game starts at 8, so I'll be live for the pregame at 7 and then as well for the postgame afterwards. Yeah, Dan?
I'm not sure if these people want me back, bro.
No, they want you back. Trust me. We'll see you guys next time. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. See you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.